World Championship match, Nepo white, Ding black. This is the critical position of the game, and here is where I think everything went wrong for Ding. White's last move was knight from e3 to f5, attacking g7 and wants to deliver checkmate. Of course, Ding saw all of this and decided to exchange these knights, which I believe it was a positional mistake. Instead of this move, Ding should have just played queen f6, keeping the knights on the board, and after that I don't see a clear way for white to take advantage. For example, after knight d7, queen e7, black can just simply, after queen f5, put his bishop on c5. Yes, white is a little bit better, but nothing too dramatical for black. But in this position, Ding decided to take this knight, and after e takes f5, I believe that white is clearly better in this position. Why? Because after this sequence of moves, white has a great control over the light squares in this position, and his knight is dominant to this bishop. Of course, Ding made another mistake here and played queen to f6, putting his queen on a dark square. In this position, he should have put his queen on a white square to defend these white squares. His bishop is covering the black squares, and his queen should cover the light squares. And he's preparing to play rook e8, and everything is not that bad. Another idea for black is to play bishop d8 and switch this bishop from d8 to f6, and after that black can survive. I guess if Ding would have found queen d7, the game would have finished in a draw, but his decision to exchange the knight was to put his queen on f6. Seemingly it's a strong square, but it does nothing on this square. And look at white's next move, queen to e4, dominating the white squares. And after that, it's very hard for Ding to play rook b8. And here is the idea of white. White first plays rook e2, and after bishop c5, a very strong move, starting the kingside attack with g4. Ideas of g5, the king to g2, and just look at this position. All of white's pieces on the white squares. He's going to play his queen to d5, his knight is dominating, and black can do nothing in this position. Ding in this position played queen d8, which is a good move. His main intention is to play d5. Of course, white plays queen d5. Now the queen is stronger than before. Here, Ding played king f8, which is somehow peculiar move, but he wanted to prevent the rook from entering from the e8 square. His main idea is to play queen c8 and to queen to b7 and exchange this dominant queen. He could have done other ideas. I guess queen d7 was not after queen d5. If queen d7, white could have just simply played something like king g2 and rook e8 here. This position is a little bit better for white, and I guess Jan would have managed to win this game. But in the game he played king f8, and as I told you, if king g2, Ding wants to play queen c8 with the idea of queen b7 and exchanging. Of course, Jan saw this and he played a very clever move, king to f1, stepping out of this diagonal to use his queen. After this move, Ding played rook c8, which was the last mistake. I mean, after this move, the game is lost and there is no way to come back after this move. Black should have still played queen c8, and I guess Jan's idea was either to play knight d4 in this position, which then if bishop takes d4, white can simply take d6 with check win a pawn. And if not, if queen b7, then white can play knight c6. And if rook c8, I think the idea was to play rook e7. There is no queen takes c6, of course, because of queen takes f7 mate. And if he takes the rook, then white has a complete winning position. So in this position, this is why Ding didn't play queen c8, and he saw that Jan has a great point after queen c8. He wants to play knight d4, and okay, but here black could have just simply played queen d7, and I guess the position is still alive, but I also believe that white would have eventually won this game. So after King to f1, Ding played rook to c8, and here comes the great attack by Jan Nepomniachtchi. He played his rook to e4, starting a fantastic attack on the king side. After rook b8, Ding saw the attack and he cannot do anything. Maybe he wanted to play rook c7, but if he plays rook c7, then white can just simply play f6, and there is no queen takes f6 because of queen a8 mate. And if g takes f6, the game will be finished, for example, by knight to h4, and this knight will come to f5, and this is lost for black. So Ding just waited, and here comes the blow by Jan Nepomniachtchi. He started the attack on the king side with pawn to g5, a strong attack, and after Ding took it, he played rook g4. I believe that what Ding missed in this position, he thought that he can play f6, but f6 is the wrong decision in this position, and white can just simply finish off by a very strong move by his knight, knight to h4, intending to give a check on g6, and if he takes it, white can just simply play h6, and the game is all over for black. So Ding played rook a8, he tried his last chances, knight takes g5, rook check, and queen e7. Here king g2 also was winning, but Jan decided to keep the queens, queen e7, knight d4, very strong. White intends to play f6 and everything in this position. Therefore, Ding played queen to e8, and now he plays with his king to f3, another strong move by Jan. Queen a8, he once again offered the queen trades, and of course white trades it, f6. Now everything collapsed for black. If black takes it, then knight takes f6. This game will be finished because white has h6. He could have played h6 also here, but knight takes f6 is also strong. So after f6, Ding played g6, takes, rook takes g6. Rook a2, one last counterplay. He was hoping that white goes knight g5 with the idea of mate, but if knight g5, which is a bad move, then black can take this. And after king e4, black take this. And after knight to e6 check, black can just simply place king f7 and wins the game. And if knight to h7 check, he goes here. And if check, he goes here, and there is no way to finish this game for white. So he was hoping for something like this, and therefore Jan thought a little bit here and played another strong idea with his king. He was very brave with his king. He played king g4, and after rook takes b4, he played rook h6, intending to give checkmate. He wants to go king f5 and king to g6 after that, or e6, based on what black plays. So, and after that, black is completely lost. You can use your king in the end game, and you should activate your king. And here in this position, Ding decided to resign the game, and now the match situation will be in favor of Jan, because he's 3-2 ahead, and tomorrow we have another game, and we should see that if Ding once again can come back or not. I hope you liked this video and enjoyed it. If it is the case, then please like the video and write comments for me. Have fun and enjoy chess.